sent a message, which is great. He's doing well in Queensland, and we appreciate everything he's done. And we support him as best we can. And Michael, Emma's dad, Michael Crane, and Mark, they do the same. And there've been tough times up there for a while, but things have worked out beautifully at the moment, and they're a very lovely family, and we're very proud of them as well. Marcus is just our little boy, as he said, born. Thank you for your kind words, mate. I appreciate them very much, and you're never not a dad. You'll find that out, and because we're parents, all of us know that you're never not a parent for all your life. So good luck with it, and we're looking forward to coming out of New Zealand in a couple of years and attending that marriage. That'll be fantastic. And to you, Nick, well, we know you're going to sing in a minute for us, and with Jimmy, and your band's going beautifully, and very proud of you and every success you deserve. So you're a wonderful young man too. So thank you to all my family. I'd like to thank Louise's family, who have always been supportive of us, and they're here tonight, as they always have been throughout our years, haven't they? So thank you for that. To the people who've spoken, look, it's fantastic. Look, the college days have been fantastic. Thank you, Dennis, for what you've said. When we said we needed someone with a bit of humour, you certainly delivered with spades. Thank you, Bruce and Debbie, very much for your kind words. It's great to see Mark here, my old friend from college days, and Colin. Thank you, Colin, and Graham. Thank you for what you said. It was fantastic. And I'd just like to say that Debbie Birrell a couple of years ago was, as crook as anybody could be. When you're crook with cancer in your bucket, and you think that you're facing the knife of the surgeon and that it's bleak. And that, people hear that, your heart goes out to them. Well, she's fought back, and not only that, she's walked the Kokoda Trail since it. So, I just take my hat off to you, Debbie. Fantastic work, and we're so proud of you. And Ruth, we're with you 100%. You keep fighting all the way, and look, just to come here tonight I just feel so, people said some really nice things about me, but I can't say enough about your courage to be here tonight. It's just fantastic. So thank you, and I appreciate it very much. As for the school days, Trevor, well, that was beautiful. That was, yes, fantastic. I just need a little bit more time to come back.
The difference between our height now and then,
yeah.
I eat cornflakes for breakfast.
Well, he's a lawyer, you trouble there, they interject and put off your line of thought. What I was going to say, Trevor, is that none of that was true, you know. But I have no evidence to support it, that's the trouble. But I remember fondly walking home from high school with you, in light of your cornflakes. And if you recall, we used to walk down whatever the street was called, parallel to Fiddleton Street. And we used to stop at the cafe. And we used to have a milkshake. And often it was a ham and tomato sandwich. You remember in those days? Now you can see, here we are, 60 years later. Not your Maccas and chips, was it? In those days it was healthy food and healthy living. And we had it there, didn't we?
You had it all.
As for that shirt front, you probably deserved it. It's probably because you went around the golf course in 70 off the stick, whereas it took me 125. And a long time finding the ball mostly. Or playing tennis when I couldn't see the ball when you aced me most of the time. So you probably deserved it, to be honest. He wasn't a punk weakling at all. No, not at all. He just made it sound like he was. But college was great. We had a great time. But moving through it, and Lynn Knight, who spoke here about me, I know it's not a mutual society on here because he's a great teacher and all the rest of it, but Lynn, you're one of the best, I've said that all the way, one of the best teachers I ever worked with and one of the most inspiring for children. But look, I have to say that I did find that some more that were maybe not better than you, but equally as good or as talented. And look, Christine Howard's here tonight, and look, Christine Howard is one of the best teachers that this district has ever seen, and underappreciated in many regards. But Chris, I love the work you did at George Street, and thank you for that. And I'm glad you're still doing it, because look, you and Lynn are two peas in the pot, fantastic. And while I'm talking about teachers at George Street, Gillian, I don't know how many caps you've actually worn since you've been there in 5 years, but by hell, if it isn't the classroom teacher, it's the new remedial teacher, it's this, that and the other. Patch, yes, and you've done the cricket team, you've done everything, so fantastic. And all the aides at George Street who are here tonight, fantastic people. Look, I could never have taught as well as I had without the help of Sandy Nee, who's not here tonight, but she was fantastic too. Tracy, just got the heart and soul of George Street, thank you. Kayleen, where's Kayleen? Oh, Kayleen. Just love having you in the classroom. Fantastic. And the kids still idolise the ground you walk on today. Fantastic. Even if you sometimes get the tense incorrect in some of the words that you did it or you've done it, it doesn't matter. As long as your heart's in the right place, The kids still love you. Doesn't really matter. And Barb, thank you for the last year. I had with you a lot of fun as well. I mean, remember the time I saved your ex-partner, Jason? Yeah, when I was at Dunkeld, Barb's ex-partner, father of a couple of the kids, fell in the creek out of the Wannon, and I had to jump in and save him, saved his life. So when we used to have a parent-teacher interviews, it's good of me to say, he never used to criticise anything I was doing, he just thankful he was bloody well alive to be there, so that was good. Pato, thank you, mate. Good that you know where you stand, son. You're a great cricketer. Good. We did well together, it was good fun. I think it was some good teams too. I really enjoyed that very much. And I was going to say, Pato's a terrific coach too, he's in his own right. And coaches the Western Waves, under 15s, and very successful, and worked with some of the great kids from Hamilton too. Corey Ogles worked through him, and young Timmy Goodman at the moment has been with you, and I think Christine Corey even had a stint with Pato, so he does some great work too, mate. So you've got a good sense of humour, but you're a talented coach, so thank you for those words too, mate. And to everybody else who I've met along the way, whether it be out at Dunkeld, Smithy, look, I love being out there. You're the only principal, mate, that was ahead of his time. You're ahead of your time, John. You had the sheep. Greg, was that enterprise education? Remember, Greg, when you put in the grant for enterprise and that sort of bullshit that went around and you had to get money and have a reason for getting money? A new program, enterprise education. Smithy had it there a long time ago. He had sheep running around there. George Street. Don't care what it. That's what it was. I forget where I am. Get me on. Kangaroos. But John, you ran that school, mate, in that boiler suit better than anybody could have done the suit. And I remember that Smithy used to say to me, look, I said, John, these important things coming out of the ministry, shouldn't we be getting on with them? He said to me, Bob, if it's important, I'll send it to us a second time. Many a thing from the education department went into the round files, I did it immediately, straight away. And I had some great times there at Dunkeld. I remember the Collinses, they both passed away, the Upwood and Mary. And there's a tremendous community spirit out there. When I first went there with the boys, we moved out. We moved in next to put Mary Collins, just next to the school. We were meant to get the big house, but we got the little shit house right next to it. And it was that small, you had to go outside to turn around. And when we got all of our stuff in it, like we had, we were into music, I can't play a note, but Nick will later, we had a piano and all that sort of bullshit. And by the time we got all in the house, we couldn't get in. So, in the end, we just had to move away from it. But Put and Mary were so welcoming when we went there. They said, oh, Bob and Louise, look, we bring over an afternoon tea and welcome you in. We had to move a couple of pianos out the end. And in comes Mary and she's got this plate of lamingtons. Oh.
The kids are helping, mate.
the kids that helped make them, because she brought our kids over to join in on this, to think, what a tremendous thing for the spirit of the community. So she brings them over, they're all sitting around watching, waiting for me to eat the Lamingtons. And I have a, well, it's probably a good habit, probably a bad habit for some, but I always break my biscuits or I break bread, I mean, what the Lord did. And she hands me over one of these Lamingtons to welcome me, and I'm trying to sort of break it in half, and I couldn't break it, you know. And what had happened was she iced with chocolate and that thing a piece of real sponge stuff, you know, you clean the sink with. And it's sort of the joke fell flat, but thank God it did, because if I chopped the old false teeth on them, I'd have had about splinters and spat them all over the house. So it's probably good that I didn't do that, but I'd be glad to that there eventually. Look, we did have some good chats coming in and out on that, didn't we, mate? We found it hard, was the length of the day that made it hard, and all those meetings we went to with John Smith, those ones about 6 o'clock, when the innovations grant or something we went on. And then we came into Dunkeld Hospital for too long. 20 odd years there, and they said, I've been there when there was photos of you, and they said, when you were like me, firm and supple. Denise has been in and out of the school a bit, but she's back as the principal now. But look, I was there during the halcyon years with the highs and lows when we had over 200. Ray McCraw and the Worry Ward, Bobby Martin was there, and you know, Bob was terrific too, but you know, there's an Indian behind every bush when he was there. And then we had the great years of Jeff Gillies, remember that? When half the resources disappeared out. Embezzlement and what?
That's true.
Yeah.
Has your official record been closed yet?
Yes. I didn't take anything, although I haven't returned the laptop. It's been used for Denise. It's working up here very, very well. I'll get Artie to remove any porn on it or whatever.
Give it to us as a gift, Robert. It doesn't have the porn.
No, I got the netbook. The grandchildren have that already. But no, fantastic. So a few things did disappear out Denise, and Denise came in there when things were pretty grim in that regard, and she's done a great job putting things back on track. So I appreciate that, and they weren't easy, Denise, and good luck to you. And the school has turned around the last couple of years, I think, and I think it's back on its build, and I hope that some in the future it grows up. But during those times I was teaching with George Street, we need a bit of a break. Gosh, geez, teaching can give you the shits after a while, I can tell you. Like, it's just so monotonous, and you've got to, you know, we're supposed to be innovating and doing all this and evaluating and assessments, and everything has to be done by an accountant and measured. What did we do last year? We improved by 1.2 on the Richter scale. Next year, 1.4 on the Richter scale. Show improvement. How will we do it? Get the map plan out. That's it. No worries. Got a shit lot of kids in this year. Oh, Christ almighty. Lower the standards. You know, it's very, very tough. But anyway, that's the way it is these days. So, what's my train of thought on that a bit? Had a break. Oh, have a break. Yeah, what the break was, you need to get away from that. And during the last few years, one of the most memorable times on the fun times had Greg McKellar. Oh, Greg. Remember those? Myrad. Greg, I love that Myrad thing. What happened was all the schools used to cluster together and put in new developments. And Myrad was the big thing, wasn't it, Greg, a few years ago? Do you know what it means still? Middle years, research and development, wasn't it? That sound right? So it's all about years 5 to 8 and sort of working out how important those years were. But the important thing is we used to get away, Greg, for a little couple of days in Melbourne to look over the data and to present our what's going on in our region to the gurus in Melbourne. But in between that, we used to have a night in Melbourne, didn't we? Oh. And I've had to retire because if I'd have kept up going to Myrad, I'd have never got over it. Fantastic. But those little things that I just enjoyed, and it was good working with the other schools, and you know, Grace Street were involved, and North and Bainbridge and ourselves, that was good. So without boring you to death, and I want Nicholas to get up here and do a little bit to entertain us, to finish it off, I'd just like to finish off by saying thanks very much everyone for coming. If I've missed you, thanks Donna, I saw you look at me there, magnificent. Always enjoyed your speech. That bastard did make a rude remarks before I turned around and told him he dropped the premiership
Harry
too
Dixon
before he
was
snipped
best,
it.
Bob. That's
Right?
crap. He never said a word.
He did, he was a smart ass, and anyway,
I went easy on you.
catch and swim matches. Alright, so without any further ado, thanks everybody for coming. I've enjoyed it very much, and 60 years, look, I'm a senior now. And I've got a mighty card and a seniors card. And it entitles you to absolutely bloody nothing. Not a thing. I can get a trip to Melbourne, one trip. Provide, no, 2 vouchers. Yes, but I have to come back on the same day with a return trip. So I get on the bus here at 8:10, into Melbourne at 12:00, whatever it is, out for a piss, quick cuppa, back on the bus and home. That's it. Nothing else. That's a day out. So that's what you got to call to as a senior. And a Mikey. They said, congratulations, you've now got a Mikey. Please now top it up. You can use it anywhere but where you live. So thank you all for coming, and without any further ado, I'd like to hand over to Nick and Jimmy to do a couple.